circuit.com and the director of the Austin After Dark Film Festival. The Austin After Dark Film Festival is an event that screens mature content for a mature audience. You'll see horror films, dark science fiction, animation, things that comedies that would be on Adult Swim, and even music videos, series pilots, all kinds of stuff. Everything that's under 30 minutes in length, back to back to back. It's a great show. So I hope you're able to join us. One of the films that's going to be screening is called The Backhand, and we're joined by director Ken Amlin today. Hey, Ken.
Hey, how's it going, Mike?
Ken, thank you so much for joining us. Your film, thank you to your whole crew, nominated for the Best Cinematography Award.
Thank you.
Very, very well produced. Great color, great shot selection. Just great everything. So your DP, your colorist, everybody. How it all came together. It's really special. So good job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun to put together. Everyone had a great time.
Good stuff. It looked like it was a lot of fun. I'm not going to give away this. I mean, I just tell the end. I just ruin films. So I'm going to allow you to tell us what the film is about.
Well, it's a goofy little comedy about these two mobsters who end up kidnapping the wrong guy. And they've got to get rid of him before the boss shows up and, they get in shit. The problem is they distract each other by debating the meaning behind a forehand slap and a backhand slap, and if one means something other than the other. So it's absurd little back and forth, and it's a lot of fun.
Fun stuff, man. I mean, the whole film. This is a compliment. Don't take it the wrong way, but it's so ridiculous. Like, it's really funny.
For sure, that's one of the first words I use to describe it. It's a ridiculous situation, right? Like, how are these people doing this? And yeah, you just laugh at it.
And that's one of the things we ask on our scorecard when we're asking for films that are submitted to comedy and dark comedy categories. Have you created a situation that's funny? It's one thing to have funny dialogue and funny faces and funny moments, but have you created a whole situation that's funny? We ask that. And of course, your film did great in that area. So I want to ask you, just
Thank
from
you.
a creative perspective, you're very welcome. From a creative perspective, why did you want to tell this story? Are you inspired by something? Did this idea just pop into your head? It just what happened here?
Yeah, a friend of mine was telling me a funny story that involved a slap, and I interrupted the story because for some reason I needed to know if it was a backhand or a forehand. It wasn't important. It was a completely meaningless detail, but I couldn't get past it. And then we started to explore, well, what if, one or the other had a different meaning? And came up with all these hilarious kind of descriptions, and that sat in the back of my head for almost a year. And then I got the inspiration one day out of nowhere, like, what, maybe I'll write this into something. And it turned into this little 10-page script. And at the time, I was watching and just fully immersed in Edgar Wright and everything he was doing. I just finished reading his book, You've Got Red on You, and I rewatched Shaun of the Dead. I just seen Last Night in Soho in theaters. So that whole Edgar Wright style was very in my brain. So I just infused that into what I was writing, and it hopefully came together. I'm really happy with what came out of it.
Awesome. Well, production wise, did you learn anything from this film?
Oh yeah, big time. It was a lesson in how to pull things off if you're spend the time to get well organized.
Mm.
Knowing that in this situation, almost the whole film takes place in one spot with just three actors, and the only real set piece is a chair. I had just three friends who are not actors come over with a chair and just talk through all the lines, and I filmed it with a phone. And then just played with different angles and was able to cut together a whole, I called it a blocking test, to make sure that the angles worked and what shots I needed, which ones I weren't thinking of. So when I cut that together, I knew it would work. And then on set, we did 2 days, I think 105 shots across 2 days, and we knew exactly what shot to get every single time. So it was just go, 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 go. And without that, it never would have been possible.
Good stuff, man. Well, you know, planning and storyboarding and practicing. I worked as an audio guy on location for many, many years, and I was shocked when I saw a guy who was just innovative. He was shooting on film, and he shot the whole film on short ends, and he took pictures with his actors for every scene where they were going to shoot with the same exact film stock he was going to use, and like took still photos and developed
Oh,
them
okay.
all and created a storyboard of the film before, because the short ends you're using like 170 feet or whatever, you're not using, film
Right.
is very, very expensive, and planning, it really is important. It helps you visualize too. So good job by you and your team. It obviously shows, just from looking at it, there was a lot of planning. I could see just in the blocking and the angles. And you got to tell me, what did you, this is going to sound like a really silly question, but what research did you do to make the slaps look so real?
The slap. Well, our lead actor Chase Lawless doubled as a stunt choreographer, so thankfully he was able to offer a lot of insight on the proper way and the right angles to yeah, put the camera here. Oh, you have to react a little sooner than you normally would think. It really went a long way to sell, because obviously, yeah, the backhand. It's in the title. If you don't have believable slaps, the whole thing falls apart.
Nice. Slap research. So
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
anyone searching that on Google, this video is going to come up on top. Um, Good stuff. So what do you have planned for the future? What's going on next?
Well, I like to keep myself really busy, so there's all kinds of different projects in various stages of development. Some are just ideas, some are scripts, some I hope to be producing in the next year. I've got a couple feature scripts that I'm trying to get to the finish line and do something with, and then hopefully start, a pre-production process and looking for financing and putting teams together.
All right. Exciting times. If you're doing any crowdfunding,
Yeah,
hit us up. We'll do an interview. I'd like to talk to you about your project. And if there's any way that
awesome. Will do.
I can help. Hey man, you're an alum now. So if I can help, um,
Thank you.
I would
Thank you
love
so
to.
much.
You're very
Yeah, it's a
welcome.
lot of fun.
Was there anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Yeah, I want to just say thank you to all the judges down in Austin who watched the film and selected it, and thank you for the nomination for the cinematography award. That means so much to me. I'm really proud of the way that the film looks. So the fact that other people are recognizing that's great. I really love that. The whole team is really proud of what we did. So can't wait to come down and meet everyone and see everyone down at the festival.
Thanks so much for making the trip. Appreciate the kind words. Your work makes us look good when we screen it. So we appreciate you. Thanks a lot, Ken.
Michael.